course, it'll change next month or next year, and obviously we wouldn't want to be owning anything that we thought was in a currency that was really going to hell. And that's the big thing we worry about with the United States currency. I mean, the tendency of a government to want to debase its currency over time there's no system that beats that. You can pick dictators, you can pick representatives, you can do anything. But the people, there will be a push toward weaker currencies. And of course, that is, I mentioned very briefly in the annual report that the fiscal policy is what scares me in the United States, because it's made the way it is,
Alright, Shalom. I say call while I was on present according to Hebrew to Yahweh Bashem Shai Bashem Kokadash, the ones apostles Muslim. Let's go to the elect, few sisters and Israelite foreigners. Just waking up from the truth. My name is Kamafia from GMS Grilliman Ranch. Alright, got another lesson for you. Alright, in the signs of the times. That's what I'm gonna call it. Part 2. Yeah, what you just saw with the guy that was speaking, his name is Warren Buffett. All right, and I'm going to give you a little info on him, about who he is and what he do. Is a Warren Buffett. Damn, what the hell? Warren Buffett is an American business magnate, investor, and philanthropist, widely considered one of the history's most successful investors, known for leading Berkshire's Hathaway, an insurance, manufacturing, and investment conglomerate, earning him the nickname Oracle of the Alma. He built an immense wealth through a disciplined value investing strategy. Right, so this guy he's known for being a great investor. Okay, and when he made this statement, which he had this meeting, okay, and the advice that he gave to those people at that meeting, I'm gonna play it back. Please play it back.
Next month or next year, and obviously we wouldn't want to be owning anything that we thought was in a currency that was really going to hell. And that's the big thing we worry about with the United States currency. I mean,
so he said a currency, which is U.S. currency, he just named it. What currency he's talking about is that currency that's going to hell. All right, and this is coming from a very well-known, highly successful investor. This guy's invested in different businesses and, different shares in the market. All right, he has his hand dipped into a lot of things. And like I said, he is very successful in what he do. This guy ain't no dummy. He's ain't no rookie. All right, and what he do, he's been doing it for a long time. And when you hear a guy like this make statements like this, you got to be concerned. Okay, because he sees what's coming down the road. All right, he sees it, man. All right, and this just let you know how close we are to the breaking point or the collapse of the society in whole. It's an eye opener right here. All right, now I looked it up. This dude had this meeting in May 2025, which is going back in the summer, not too long ago, but still, what he said out of his mouth was it was something serious, man. All right, it was something to take not with a grain of salt. All right. So yeah, man. This right here just points out how this place is going to fail sooner or later. Okay. Let me see what else I had lined up on there. Let's get that out of there. Oh yeah, let me go back to this.
The tendency of a government to want to debase its currency over time is...
A government wanted to debase its currency over time, right?
There's no system that beats that. You know, you can pick dictators, you can pick representatives, you can do anything. But the people, there will be a push toward weaker currencies. And of course, that is, I mentioned very briefly in the annual report that the fiscal policy is what scares me in the United States, because it's made the way it is, and all the motivations are to doing a lot of things that can cause trouble with money. But that's not limited to the United States. It's all over the world, and some places it gets out of control regularly. As they know, they devalue at rates that are breathtaking, and
He says the devalue rates are breathtaking.
continued. I mean, and people can study economics, and you can have all kinds of arrangements, but in the end, if you've got people that control the currency, you can issue paper money, and you will, or you can engage in clipping currencies like they used to do centuries ago. Or there will always be people, and it's the nature of their job. I'm not singling them out as particularly evil or anything like that, but the natural course of government is to make the currency worth less.
Then he just said it out plain, man. He said the government is the natural, what do you say?
The system to keep that from happening, and we've had a lot of fun here in the last. Is to make the currency worth less. But the natural course of government.
The natural course of government
is to make the currency worth less.
Right, so they can bring in a new monetary system. That was the goal. All right, the goal of this whole thing. Okay. So he used this fiat currency, this worthless money currency, to put people into debt. All right, and then to eventually make the money worthless, which he's doing right now, and bring in that digital currency. And I'm trying to see what part he said that. I'm trying to see. I don't know if it was this a whole interview.
Can cause trouble with money, but that's not limited to the United States. Very briefly in the annual report that anything, but the people want to debase its currency over time. There's no system that beats that. You know, you can pick dictators, you can pick representatives, you can do anything, but the people, there will be a push toward weaker currencies, and of course that is, I mentioned very briefly in the annual report that the fiscal policy is what scares me in the United States, because...
Okay, there you go. It's just the fiscal. That's what he said. That's what I was looking for. So like, yeah. Go ahead.
Weaker currencies, and of course that is, I mentioned very briefly in the annual report that the fiscal policy is what scares...
Is it a report that the fiscal policy is what scares me? So I look at the word, because you got to look at these terminologies these devils be using. All right. So let me see. I looked it up. What is fiscal policy? It says fiscal policy is the government's strategy of using spending and taxation to influence the overall economy, aiming for stable growth full employment, and price stability by adjusting the budget. So he said fiscal policy, all right, was what scares him the most about the U.S. government. And this whole definition, what I just read, is what he's scared of. He's scared of the government strategy of spending money, all right, taxing, influence, and aiming stability, growth, full employment, and policy stability. He's scared of the government, how it budgets and spends money in the simplest terms. All right, because we do know that we are using a lot of our money and taxes of the money to go into Israel, to go into these wars. All right, the military, all right, is not going towards the people. It's not going towards the businesses. It's not going towards the city. All right, so that dude's scared of that. He's scared of how the government budgets and balances money. All right, this guy Warren Buffett. Okay, this is a successful investor. So yeah, man, what he's saying, all right, means a lot. This is coming from a guy that's familiar with economics. Okay, that's what he's saying. All right, now let me get these scriptures. Let me get this one. This is Jeremiah 51:6. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon." Let's say, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon," which is America. It's talking about, and how would he flee? By coming back to the knowledge, coming back to who we are. The scriptures of, people putting off this, the slave owners, names that he called us, and putting back on our true nationality, and come back to wisdom, knowledge, understanding the Heavenly Father. That's how we flee out of the midst of Babylon, not literally, physically do it, because what is the whole point of the Lord coming back? To deliver us out of this place, Babylon, right? This is a place where we're going to get delivered. But if all of us did flee when we heard this message, then what would the Lord bring us out of? All right, the Lord compared this place to second Egypt. But anyway, he says, "Deliver every man's soul and be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense. Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. Let her go, everyone into his own country, for her judgment reaches into heaven and is lifted up to the skies." So the Lord said, well, he's being sarcastic, by the way, the Lord will never heal this place. He wanted to obliterate it, right? He's just saying, like, being funny, like this place, there's no saving this place, all right? There's no saving this place. That's what he's saying. And yeah, man, this place is doomed. All right, doomed for destruction, to be destroyed. All right. I'm done with that. Let me get this. Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says, "In the day the keepers of the house shall tremble." And the keepers of the house is talking about these economic experts. All right, they are the keepers of the house because they forecast of how all the things in both economically, how all the things in society are, how they're going to go, and how is it going to how the future is going to be for the success of that society. Okay, so they will be counted as the keepers of the house. That's what they keep. That's what they're keepers of, the information flow of how successful that kingdom is going to be. All right, economically. All right, which economics means everything. of the wealth of the country, and you know, whether it fail or succeed is very crucial. Very crucial to its future. All right. And the strong man shall bow themselves. The strong man is talking about the military. All right. They will be counted as the strong man because without standing army, all right, that is your first line of defense to defend your wealth. Okay. And the grinders shall cease because there are few. The grinders talking about workers. Jake used that terminology today. He said when Jay's talking about he's working, he's talking about I'm on my grind. So we always use this lingo, all right, and which it is season due to AI. AI is a big disruptor on why the grinders has ceased, especially for these women. And those that look out the window shall be, the window look at the window be darkened, right? People are looking at all these things and seeing that there's no way they can have a future in this economy the way it's going, all right? That there's bad times ahead, okay? Okay, got that out of the way. Now, I did got some information, which I always go through the scriptures. Zephaniah 1:10 or 1:11, right? Where it talks about the Maktesh, all right? Which I'm going to read because it is a good comparison of how America economy is going to fall. Which, like I said, that guy, Warren Buffett, just said a mouthful when he spoke to those people in the meeting. All right, it's Maktesh, right? This is where merchants traded. And like, what is Warren Buffett? He is a what you call him, man? He's an investor where, like I said, he invests money into businesses and he has money into a lot of these what do they call those? Into a lot of things in the trade market, man. Damn, it's almost, they call it not the black market, but damn, what do they call that shit? Oh man, like we call it Black Wall Street, right? It's a word I'm looking for. I can't think of it right now, but yeah, foreign stock exchange. Yeah, I'm looking for. He has a lot of money invested in foreign stock exchange, right? It says typical encyclopedia for Maktesh, right? It says Maktesh is a term found in the Old Testament, specifically in the book of Zephaniah, is understood to refer to a district or area associated with commerce and trade. The name Maktesh itself is derived from a Hebrew word meaning mortal or hollow, suggesting a geographic feature such as the valley or depression where trading activities took place. The primary biblical reference to Maktesh is found in Zephaniah 1:11, which states, well-old dwellers in Maktesh, all your merchants will be silenced. All who weigh out silver will be cut off. This verse is part of a larger prophetic pronouncement of judgment against Jerusalem and its inhabitants, highlighting the impending doom that would befall the city due to its moral and spiritual corruption. And this place is, or what our people, man, is a moral and spiritual corruption. A historical and geographic context, Maktesh is believed to have been a district with Jerusalem, possibly located in a lower city of the Pacific market area where merchants conducted their businesses. The reference to all who weigh out silver indicates that it was a hub of economic activity, likely bustling with trades, financial transactions. The imagery of a mortal or hollow could suggest a natural or man-made depression in the landscape conducted of gathering and trading, culture, and economic significance. In ancient Israel, trade was a vital component of economy, Cities like Jerusalem were central to commercial exchange. Merchants played a crucial role in distribution of goods, including precious metals like silver, which were essential for trade and commerce. The mention of Mactez and Zephaniah underscores the importance of this district as a center of economic activity and highlights an interconnectedness of commerce and daily life in ancient Jerusalem. Theological implications. It says, prophetic judgment pronounced upon Mactez serves as a reminder of the border terms of divine justice and accountability throughout the Bible. Silencing the merchants and cutting off those who weigh silver symbolize the sensation. I looked at this word sensation, right? So it's a sensation, the fact or process of ending or being brought to an end. So being brought to an end, right? This reflects my fault. Where was that? Shit. Yeah, weighing silver symbolizes sensation, the end of, right? Sensation means the end of normal economic activities and a consequential of the people's unfaithfulness and mortal decline. This reflects the Bible principles that economic prosperity is an ultimate subject to God's sovereign will and moral order. So Lord brought that place to an end. Like he's going to bring the economy of America to an end. All right, you heard what my man Warren Buffett said. Is his conclusion. While the specific location details of Mactesh remain subject of scholarly discussion, it mentioned in the book of Zephaniah provides a valuable insight into the economy and social dynamics of ancient Jerusalem. The district associated with trade and commerce complied with the prophetic warning of judgment, offers a, let's see what the fuck that word mean. I don't know what the hell that word mean.
Poignant.
Invoking or killing felt sense of emotion, especially bittersweet sadness or regret, a sharp or pungent taste or smell. Something that invokes a sharp, deep emotional response. That's what poignant means. What was that shit? A sharp descent, right? Illustrates the biblical themes of justice, accountability, and transnational human endeavors. Okay, I got that out of the way. It's like that was a lot. So I typed in Google, right? No, shit. I already read that. So I typed in Google, why did Mactesh come to an end? It says Mactesh came to an end as a thriving commercial district in Jerusalem due to divine judgment for greed and materialism. Where God prophesied the downfall of merchants and money handlers during a period of invasion led to a trade collapse and ruin, signifying a border warning against the worldly wealth over faithfulness, while geologically Mactesh, as a rule, okay, biblical meaning, commercial hub, Mactesh was a bustling market in the area of Jerusalem, possibly near the Fish Gate or Lower City, where merchants and money changers, those bearing silver, conducted business. Divine judgment. The prophet Zephaniah warned of his destruction of part of God's judgment of Judah's idolatry and materialism, signifying the collapse of worldly system. Collapse of trade. Well, you inhabitants of Mactesh, while the merchant people are cut down, all those who handle are cut off, means trade ceased. If that was not what happened in America with the tariffs, Trump is stopping that trade cease. All right, due to the fact they want to put tariffs on people, these other nations that bring their merchandise here. All right, and vice versa. Merchants were ruined and wealth vanished according to this biblical hub source, right? And that's what we're seeing it cut off in the middle class too. Wealth is being at a halt, all right, in this country. The fat cats, the wealthy, only they continue to get richer. Erosion craters. And geologically, a magtesh is an unequal, larger erosion critique of crater not formed by meteorite due to the water eroding soft sandstones. Okay, formation. Yeah, was that it? I believe that was it. Yeah, so we got the main thing out of that. So yeah, man, this let me get back to that.
Only any
This guy, he gave out that warning, man, and he was just straight frank with it, man. Okay, he said, I don't feel a need to still deal with a currency that is being brought to hell. Okay, and they were saying how when you look it up, he translated a lot of his money into the yuan and different companies. All right, rather than deal with the U.S. dollar because it is at its end. All right, and come 2026, we're literally days away. That's probably gonna be possibly a year. I'm just saying this as a man where the dollar collapsed, man, because this year is such an important year, and that way things are happening throughout the earth. All right, it shouldn't come as a surprise because sooner or later, all right, the lowest state that our people in, it's like, what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, I'm gonna sleepy. Okay, yeah, so yeah, sooner or later, man, just things are gonna come crashing and burning, and we just a sign of the times, as I said before. When a guy like this says something like that, you better take heed because like I say, they got the inside scoop, and he ain't just babbling. He ain't just saying this shit to just say it. All right, it's for real. Okay, so yeah, man, another sign of the times, and yeah, man, we just gotta keep watch. But with that, I'm gonna give all praise and glory to Yahweh. Shout out to my apostle, bless God, live, who is like on the shalom.